Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen. Each week while working on the new album, the Dead Milkmen ask each other a question. Previously on Big Questions. This week's big question, name a book. Preferably a book that isn't Everybody Poops, because I know I'm not going to read that. I'll just wait till the movie comes out.
Well, I'd like to read it again. I don't know if I guess like I planned. Confederacy of Dunces.
Ooh, good
by
book.
John Kennedy O'Toole. I'm pretty sure your mother lent it to me.
Leave my mother out of this!
She did. I'm pretty sure it was either her or your older sister, but I think it was your mom.
Leave my older sister out of this!
And I read it first in the summer of '81, between my first and second year of college. Mm-hmm. I thought it was hilarious. And I have a terrible memory, so I don't remember. I remember the gist of it, but I don't remember all the things this character gets into. But it's like a first person.
You like hot dogs.
Yeah, well, he sells hot dogs.
They always keep saying they're going to make a movie out of that, and they never do.
Hot dogs, ladies.
They never made a movie out of it, but I think it would make a great funny movie. But it might also destroy it, because a lot of books that I like don't make good. The movies end up.
My problem is the opposite of yours. My memory sort of traps things.
Yeah.
So if I read a book, I can go, "Oh yeah, this is on." So that's.
But yeah, this character's really sarcastic.
Ignatius P. Riley.
Ignatius, are you sure it's P. Riley?
I think it's Ignatius.
Ignatius Riley, and
we're going to go with P. Riley, and then we'll look it up.
And I remember he has I don't know if it's a girlfriend, but he had
she's
a
the
woman,
love interest.
A love interest,
there's nothing
but she lives
physical.
in New York City at this point and writes to him, so there's a pen pal thing, and I like that aspect of it. And I don't know, it's just a book I want to read again, just to see if it's just as funny as I remember it was.
And you've read it twice already?
Yes, I did.
So you read it.
Also, the guy who wrote it, John Kennedy O'Toole, I think was dead for at least a decade before it came out.
Yeah, I think his mom.
Yeah, his mother would take the book around to publishers.
And that was in the. You could read that in the foreword or something like that, so you knew that ahead of time.
Which is spooky, because he wrote the foreword. It was like, no!
Or it was on the book flap. I don't remember where it was, but and he committed suicide, and it's the only thing that we can get out of him, I guess, and she found it. Mm-hmm. Years, I guess, after. I don't know. She found it and sort of demanded that it gets published. And
I read a short story of his once. Also, there's a short story floating around by him.
By him? Okay.
Yeah.
By John. Okay, I didn't know that.
Like Welcome Home Soldiers or something like that.
Okay, so it's not the only thing published.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
Okay, and that's just one?
I only have one.
You're such a well-read guy. I thought you'd have tons. All right, I'm going to pull the camera over here to Dean. There we go. This thing is so heavy and expensive. Dean, let's talk books.
So the book is called Hindsight by Peter Dickinson. It's a mystery novel. And I liked it so much I bought it twice. I have the original softcover version, and I can't even remember where I got it. It's one of those cheapy used books. Probably from some library sale.
From cheapy used books are us.
And this is falling apart, so I ordered a copy from Amazon, that other company.
Yeah, we won't say the name.
And so the book is a mystery thing. The thing about it is it's very strange. It's kind of like a book within a book. It starts out with a writer who is writing a book about his time, like 40 years ago, back at boarding school in England during the First World War, or just after the First World War. And something that happens there, and as he's writing the book, he starts to remember more and more about the strange thing that happened that year that he was at boarding school. It's just weird, because it jumps right in with the author, like talking to the reader directly, but then you kind of get wrapped up into his thought process about writing the book.
House of Leaves jumps around like that in a very weird fashion, where it's different narrators, it's different, So, but sometimes they're talking to you, sometimes it's,
I've read it at least twice.
Ooh.
My plan is to read it again.
That is a good recommendation. All right, Dan, I believe you are up next. I'm just going to swing what I like to call the camera over here
There you go. Oh, you are framed. You are framed like you're in a hunting lodge somewhere, a ski lodge. You're in Aspen in the 70s. There we go. All right, Dan, please name a book or books that you have read that you plan on reading again.
There's 3.
Oh, that's fine. We got all day. I'll be back.
David Copperfield.
Ooh.
And why? Just for some reason, no matter how long it is, I love it. I just can't put it down when I start reading it. It's just follows his
because
life.
It's written on flypaper. It's not gonna...
Stranger in a Strange Land.
By Robert Heinlein?
Yes.
Yes, excellent choice. That would have gone to be on my list.
And I've actually read it 3 times, and each time I've picked up way many
that
different
book,
things.
yeah.
I still haven't read the extended one, which apparently just has more orgies in it.
Yeah.
But I think I had my fill of orgies in them.
Not me. I can't get enough orgies in a book. Sometimes I'll read Little Women. There's no orgies. What? Wait.
Maybe they'll make a version where it's just the orgies.
Just the orgies. Just all highlighted in red. That would be awesome.
And then the third book is actually, this will be my second reading of it. It's called The Iron Heel by Jack London.
I haven't read it, but I hear it's fantastic.
Excellent. I read it about 10 years ago, and it seemed relevant then.
Mm-hmm.
So recently I was like, I'm going to read that book again because it seems even more relevant now. And I'm about halfway through, and it's definitely, it's about a socialist revolution that is basically crushed by the Iron Heel and oligarchy. But the foreword of the book, spoiler alert, basically says that they do end up succeeding after like 3 revolts. It's written in like 700 years later.
Yeah, it's like there's an extra chapter missing from Animal Farm or something. It shows what happened after. And again, original things of Clockwork Orange ended without that because Kubrick had never read the extra chapter, so he didn't know.
Which I think is the most important chapter of the book.
Yeah, it is because at the end,
brings him back to
little Alex is socialized. Yeah. All right.
So that's
okay.
That's it.
Then if you have and those are 3 good choices. I'm going to move myself over here, and I'm going to show. I brought visual aids. The first one that I'm going to show is. This is something I go back to again and again. It's do-it-yourself coffins, and I'm absolutely serious. I've had this since the 90s. If it is a fantastic book if you're interested in carpentry, and I have maybe 24 carpentry books. If you want to learn great ways to make a joint with a biscuit, have you guys ever had a joint with a biscuit? That's really good. Using a router. It also teaches upholstery. I'm absolutely serious. I do occasionally build coffins. For different things.
Is there a reason you don't invite us to your basement ever? Are there coffins for each of us?
There are 3 coffins in my basement for if the keyboards aren't loud enough in the final mix. So do-it-yourself coffins. I heavily going to open this up. I heavily recommend it. Might splice in a little bit of my coffin work. I don't know if you see. I can always put up stills of it. But really, if you want to learn carpentry, start by building a coffin because it's a fantastic thing to do. All right. So up next on my list is going to be Blood Meridian, probably the best thing written in my lifetime. It is a horrendously disturbing read. You guys ever read Blood Meridian?
No.
Don't read it if you want to be happy. It's based on the Galton expedition, which when you find out was a real expedition, and this guy called the Judge was real. It's like when you're a kid and you read Dracula, and somebody goes, "Hey, there was a real Dracula," and you're like, "What?" Well, imagine if Dracula was actually a vampire. That's the way the Judge was. This book is really good, and also one of my favorite books, Black Hawk Down, begins with a foreword where they quote from this book about how war has always been the ultimate profession, waiting for man, who's the ultimate professional in war, to come about so that the two could be together. Really disturbing, but really important. And again, the best thing written in my lifetime. All right, then we go to Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose.
Oh, that's a great one.
That is, and a book so dense, you have to also get the key to The Name of the Rose, because you don't want to read that without the key, and you can't open the book without the key. Really good, really thick book. Brother William, just one of my favorite characters because he was sometimes serious about jovial things and sometimes jovial about serious things. At one point, they're showing them the skull of John the Baptist, and his young apprentice says to him, "Wait a minute, I saw the head of John the Baptist in another church." He goes, "Well, that must have been his head when he was younger." And then, yeah, so it's really, really good. I heavily recommend it. And that leads me to the last thing on the list. We once had for those of you watching, the Dead Milkmen once had what do we call those things? It's a scavenger hunt. And one of the things in the scavenger hunt was get Umberto Eco to sign a copy of Foucault's Pendulum. And as you see, I got that, so I thought I was going to win. But then Dan over here managed to get into the archives of the Vatican, and he did get some Saint skulls. So yeah, we tied. So, all right, yeah, I will be quiet about it. All right, thank you, gentlemen, very much. This was a very informative episode of Big Question. The camera's leaning. It's going to fall over.